Evercoat's Featherfill G2, and Slick Sand polyester primers are two component primer surfacers that are ideally suited for filling in uneven surfaces, heavy sand scratches, holding down body repairs, and providing excellent foundation for any paint system. These polyester primers are VOC compliant and compatible with waterborne coating. This video will cover the approved substrates, recommended cleaning procedures, application recommendations, mixing, and finishing techniques. While there is minimal difference in the appearance between these polyester primers, their difference in film build and pot life helps to separate them from each other. Featherfill, Evercoat's longest-selling polyester primer, provides a dry film thickness of 2.0 to 3.0 mils per coat when applied with a gravity-feed spray gun with a 1.7 to 2.2 fluid nozzle. Featherfill G2 is available in 3 colors, gray, buff, and black, and provides a dry film thickness of 2.0 to 4.0 mils per coat when applied with a spray gun equipped with a 1.7 to 2.2 fluid nozzle. Slick Sand is gray in color and provides a dry film thickness of 4.0 to 6.0 mils per coat when applied with 2.0 or larger fluid nozzle. Evercoat's polyester primers can be used on fiberglass, sheet-molded composite, rigid plastics, polyester filler and putties, and epoxy primer. For spot repairs, begin by cleaning the surface with a quality wax and grease remover. When cleaning fiberglass or SMC panels, use acetone to clean the surface when the fibers are visible. If the panel was repaired following the recommended Evercoat process and cleaned prior to the repair process, continue on to the next step. Feather edge around into the clear coat with 320 grit. Then remove the dust with clean compressed air or an alcohol wipe if you prefer. For bare metal areas larger than 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters, use a quality epoxy primer. Because of the extended dry-to-sand times with self-etch primers, epoxy primers are recommended for faster production times. Follow your paint company's recommendations for surface preparation and recoating procedures. To show proper mixing, we will use Evercoat's Featherfill G2. Stir the primer thoroughly before mixing. Add 1 tube of MEKP liquid hardener to 1 quart of primer, or 4.75 fluid ounce tubes of liquid hardener to a gallon. If you are mixing up less than 1 quart at a time, it is recommended to use 12 to 14 drops per ounce of primer. Another option is to mix 2% by weight. For more information, go to evercoat.com to download a mixing chart. After adding the liquid hardener, mix the primer thoroughly. This will help to eliminate inconsistent curing. Avoid applying below 55 degrees Fahrenheit or 13 degrees Celsius to avoid slow or inconsistent cure as well. Once Featherfill G2 is mixed, the pot life is 35 minutes at 75 degrees Fahrenheit or 24 degrees Celsius. The pot life and maximum mix time for Slick Sand and regular Featherfill are different, as you can see by the chart. So be sure to download the product information sheet from Evercoat.com for specific technical information to your product. When spraying Evercoat polyester primers, use the recommended fluid nozzle size for your product and spray at your paint gun manufacturer's recommended air pressure. Generally speaking, for an HVLP gun, apply at 8 to 10 psi at the air cap or 40 to 50 psi at the gun for a conventional spray gun. Apply 2 to 3 medium wet coats over the repair and into the feather-edged clear, allowing the appropriate flash time between coats. Use this same process for pre-painted and epoxy-primed panels. Featherfill G2 is ready to sand in 75 to 90 minutes, depending on film build. Feather Fill has a dry to sand time of 90 to 120 minutes, while Slick Sand has a dry to sand time of about 2 hours. Begin by sanding with 220 grit. Then sand with 320 to 400 grit. Because of the high build properties of these polyester primers, you can even use them for light hail damage and to straighten panels with slight imperfections or waves. When using a polyester primer to repair small hail damage, clean the entire panel with a wax and grease remover. Then sand the entire panel with 320 grit. This will prepare the panel and help to show areas that will need to be filled in the process. Now, sand the deeper areas with 180 to 220 grit to prepare for the application of Quantum 1 or a premium glazing putty. Allow the material to cure and sand with 180 to 220 grit. Then apply the polyester primer as we mentioned earlier. Finish, sand, and coat according to your paint manufacturer's recommendations. For more information on Evercoat's polyester primers or other Evercoat products, contact your local Evercoat distributor or go to evercoat.com for more information.